So welcome to another video. On this one we're going to introduce you to my new car-ish, my 2015 Tesla Model S. I've had this car for over a year now, and I've been trying to get out here and do a video. Well, that just hasn't worked. I keep forgetting to come out here, so today I marked it down. I said I'm going to do this. I've had it for over a year, and so I wanted to do it. Now this one here is like I said, it's a 2015 Model S 90D, and it is kind of a, I would say, kind of a rare one because as you can see there's no glass top. You know, it's colored, so there's no sunroof, there's no color, or there's no glass. It's all metal, I guess, or aluminum, or whatever they make the roof out of. And so we bought it about a year ago, and we've added, we blacked it out. We've added the spoiler, which looked really nice, and then we blacked out the chrome on the back, and it really matches the spoiler, and so I really like that. We blacked out the door handles, and if you want the specs and everything, you can go to other sites. It's a 2015 90D. You know, you can get all the specs and power and all that. What I'm going to do is tell you about the story, and also tell you about what to look out for if you're looking for a Model S. Some things I like and some things I don't like. So let's get to it. Okay, so like I said, this is a 90D. I wouldn't say it's the top of the line, you know, but it did come with the MCU2, which I really like. You can sit and watch videos while you're charging, which is good and bad because you get interested in a show and you don't want to stop it, so you just sit there and you charge longer, which takes more time to get home, but hey, it works. You know, so you know, being MCU2, I can actually, you know, upgrade to the new operating system, which some people love, some people hate. I don't have a problem with it. They're making it better. So you go right here and go to theater, and so you got, you know, let me put the car in park, and you got all the normal thing. You've got, you know, all kinds of streaming services. You got Spotify, you got TuneIn, you've got Tesla's own streaming service, and then you can use your phone. The one thing I don't like about the MCU2, and you've got to watch this when if you're buying one, especially an older one that maybe has been retrofitted, there is no radio on here. And so, which, you know, is kind of a pain because sometimes you just don't have really good cell service, and so you can't, you know, rely on that. And sometimes just listen to a local radio station would be nice. You can get it, you can add it. You know, it's like an extra $500 to add to the system. So the other thing that you need to watch out for is the sound system. Okay, this one has the bass sound system. Not okay, it sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, my wife's van has better sound system than this. There is no bass, very little mid-range, and so all you get is the highs. And I know you can go with aftermarket sound system to fix that, but I mean, really, $107,000 car, you would think it would have a decent sound system, but they went with the basic sound system. You know, I think they call it the bass sound. So, well, it does a bass sound system, but it does not have any bass at all. So Another thing is, you know, a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, it does have the roof. No glass here. All Alcantara headliner. I would think that the roof or the interior cabin would have about the same space as the glass one, but it really doesn't, because so you got a lot of headroom here in the front, and then it goes down. And if you know the ones with the glass roof and the sunroof, there's a bar right here that separates the back from the front. Well, then it doesn't go back down. It just stays flat. And that's a problem with, you know, my sons, my two oldest sons, because they're tall. And so, you know, that it doesn't even give them enough headroom. So if they sit in the back, he's got to either cock his head like this or slump down like this. And so I really wish it had a little bit more headroom in the back. So that's my loves and my gripes about the car. Things to look out for. Let's get driving. Off we go. So last year, you know, I was, you know, online looking at cars like I always do, and I knew I wanted a Tesla, and I knew I wanted a Model S. I had rented a Model 3 when we came up here to Austin one weekend, and it was nice. It just, you know, having rented the white Model S, which is in a video, you know, one of my earlier videos, I had rented a Model S for a long road trip, and it was really nice. I really loved it. And then we rented a Model 3, you know, when we came here to Austin looking for houses one weekend, and it was nice. It just, I don't know, it's a basic car, and you know, not saying that there's anything basic about Teslas. I'm just saying it just did not have that fit and finish that, you know, I wanted. I like bigger cars. My Charger, you know, any of the other cars I've ever owned have always been kind of bigger cars. So, you know, I wanted a Model S. Anyway, getting back to the story. So I was looking online. Well, this was in August of 2021, and that's right when the car prices really started skyrocketing. Well, this one popped up on a website, or it popped up on a dealer's site, and it was $36,000. 90D Autopilot. It's got Autopilot 1, and it was like, why is that one so cheap? It doesn't make sense. And this was a reputable dealership. You know, it wasn't like a fly-by-the-night kind of place. I mean, they got a lot of cars and have a lot of reviews. And so I watched it for 2 weeks. This car just kept staying there while all the other cars, 15 Autopilot cars with 90D, because I wanted an 85 or a 90 for range, were all $45,000. Well, one Friday, I just called them. It was like, they still had it. I called them. I was like, do you still have this car? And the sales lady was very nice. She's like, oh yeah, we have it. You know, is it really $35,000? You know, 36. I forget what I paid for it. And she said, oh yeah, that's the price. She's like, but there is something wrong with the car. I said, okay, what's wrong with it? She's like, the front bumper is damaged. I said, okay, how badly damaged? She's like, I'll send you some pictures. So she sent me some pictures, and yeah, it was damaged, and you could barely see it in the photos that they had posted. But if you knew where to look, it was, you know, it was visibly there. And so I'm like, okay, but does the sensors work? Does the autopilot work? She go, oh yeah, all that works. I said, okay. I said, let's see if we can make a deal. So the reason the dealership was selling it so cheap was because they couldn't get a bumper from Tesla. You know, it was going to be 6 to 8 months before they got a bumper, or at least that's what they told me. And so they were just going to punt it. You know, pretty much what they had into it, maybe a little profit. I know they had a little profit in there, and they were going to punt it. So that's the reason that they were selling it so cheap. Made the deal. You know, numbers were good. You know, we did it. And so Leslie and the two younger boys left. They went to Target, and me and Ethan left just a few minutes after them because we were trying to figure out all the gadgets and getting everything seated and everything. And we met them over there. Well, we pulled up, and we found her van, and we pulled up next to it, in front of it, and she's laughing. And I get out, and I go to the door, I go to her window and roll down the window, and it's like, what are you laughing at? She's like, your bumper. The bumper on the driver's side was hanging down. And I don't know how long we've been driving like that, but it was, hanging down. And so we're like, okay, no big deal. We knew we were going to have to repair this. So me and Ethan go into Target. We get zip ties and JB weld. The only thing we didn't get was duct tape, but we could have got that. So we came back out and we started the repairs on the bumper. Okay.
We a little ghetto.
Do you need me to lift up on it?
I got it. Oh,
there you go.
that works.
Did we get undone? Okay, so we got even more ghetto on our $35,000 Tesla. It is zip tied. The bumper is now zip tied to the body. So yeah, we are redneck engineering it, baby. So I found out later why or what had happened to the bumper. So I had gone into a Buffalo Wild Wings to go get some wings, but the car's got air suspension, and the car lowered itself when I was inside. Well, when I came back out, got into the car, put it in reverse, I didn't give it enough time for it to raise back up. And when I did, when I backed up, there was a bump stop, and the bumper grabbed it and yanked it. And so that made sense where the broken tabs were on the bumper. And so, and this happened like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I had planned on taking the car to my parents' house, and first like really long road trip, which we bought it in Dallas, drove to Austin. That's kind of a road trip right there. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of show the car off, and proud of it and everything. And here it is, the bumpers will not stay on the car. And we started looking for another bumper. Well, there was a guy in town that had changed his 15 to one of the aftermarket bumpers, and decided just had this black bumper hanging around. Well, my car's blue. I'm like, okay, no big deal, paint. So I bought the bumper, $150. Said, hey, I have a bumper, I need painted. It's just loose from the car. I'll bring it to you. If you want, I can bring the old bumper so you can match. Oh, no, that's fine, no problem. Give us the VIN number of the car. So I gave him the VIN number, like, oh, it's a Tesla. I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, okay, no problem. Bring the bumper in. So we brought the bumper in. It's, he's like, oh, take, 3 or 4 days to do. I said, okay, no problem. Great. Well, about 3 or 4 days later, I called back. Said, hey, what's the update on the bumper? Oh, well, we can't paint it. Why? Because it's a Tesla. And, well, we can't, we're not an authorized repair shop for Tesla. I said, well, I'm not asking you to repair anything. I'm asking you to paint something. I said, it's a plastic bumper. Well, we can't recalibrate the sensors. I'm not asking you to recalibrate the sensors. I'm asking you to paint a bumper. There's no sensors on the bumper. I said, you see those I said, if you look at the bumper, there's little round holes. I said, that's where the sensors will go. They're still on my car. I said, I'm not asking you to paint the sensors or to repair the sensors. Well, I found another shop in Round Rock that he goes, yeah, we can paint it, no problem. Bring me the old bumper and I'll match it as close as possible. I said, okay, great. And I told him, I said, look, the car's got 140,000 miles on it. I don't care if it's perfect. The rest of the paint ain't perfect. As long as it looks good from 10 feet away, or I don't care about all the scratches and little rock chips and everything. Fix that as quickly and easily as possible and paint the car. Or paint the bumper. He goes, oh, sure, no problem. Man, he got this bumper out in like 2.5 days. Beautiful work. Just be careful if you have to get any kind of body panel painted. Be mindful of that. Some paint shops don't want to touch a Tesla because it's, has a T on the front. So, got the bumper back. We reinstalled the sensors, re-epoxied them to the new bumper. We were ready to go. No problem. So, overall, the car has been really good. I have not really had any major complaints.